Hey everyone on YouTube.
YouTube.
This is J Radical, also known as J Rad for short. Don't confuse me with J Watt. It's totally different.
He's better.
No,
He's clearly better.
All right. So, I like to homebrew, and in general, defensive stuff can be a lot easier on me than offensive stuff because a lot of times my offense is just not strong enough to deal with some of those like shooting star dragons and whatnot. And so, I decided one random day to build this funny deck. And now I will show you. It's called Toll and Troll. Yeah, Toll and Troll.
Toll and Troll? Yeah!
And the reason it's called Toll and Troll is because, well, in general, it kind of trolls the opponent. And I will show you.
You mad, bro?
I will show you why. So here's the first three cards to show you. Now, Cheerio Beans.
Yeah, little bean buddies.
They're level 2 plant type, 100 attack, 1200 defense. And the reason that Cheerio Beans is so good is because once per turn, they aren't destroyed by battle. And so, your opponent has to attack them twice with more than 1200 defense to be able to destroy them. And what makes them even better is that while they're face up and selected as an attack target, they do burn damage. They give 500 damage to your opponent. And so because of these little guys, you can keep them out, and they can do burn damage. And so they're really good in this deck. And so generally, this deck's whole purpose is to stall a lot.
Oh, God.
So, I've got 3 shield wings.
You may as well just paste a troll face on there. Because that's the whole troll of the entire deck right there.
Up to twice per turn, they aren't destroyed by battle.
I hate running into
so
those.
Although they have 900 defense and 0 attack, these little winged beasts are impossible to get through sometimes. Because you have to attack them 3 times to destroy them each. Now, most of the time, most of the monsters in the deck, like these Stardust Xiaolongs, are all monsters that have to be destroyed at least twice. So these guys, they are level 1 dragon type with 100 attack, 100 defense, and their main effect is that once per turn they can't be destroyed by battle. And so the whole idea of the deck is to keep playing these guys defensively.
Best card in the deck coming up. Best card in the deck. Best card in the deck.
I'll save them for last.
Oh.
So here we got Dark Resonator.
So mad.
1300 attack, 300 defense, level 3 fiend type, tuner monsters. So these are my tuners for this deck, although I don't synchro summon that often. But once per turn, they aren't destroyed by battle. So like, generally you just keep playing them face down, and meanwhile you play other things. You play magic and trap cards to do lots of fun stuff to your opponent. Fortress Warrior, level 2 warrior type, 600 attack, 1200 defense. You take no battle damage from battles involving it, which is cool. And also, once per turn, it's not destroyed by battle. And then here's J Watt's favorite card.
Mind Mole.
Mind Mole.
It's so awesome.
Mind Mole's really funny. So Mind Mole is a beast type, 3-star, 1000 attack, 1200 defense. Mind Mole has the same thing where once per turn he's not destroyed by battle. The tricky thing about him is that if he's removed from the field by an opponent's card effect, yeah, I believe it's opponent's.
Yeah, it's just opponents.
Yep, opponent's card effect, it's removed from play instead. But in general, that doesn't really affect this deck at all. So
Brionac.
It really doesn't matter. Well, even with Brionac, generally it doesn't really matter.
Well, usually Brionac's bouncing face down stuff.
So, considering that I believe it's 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 14. Yep, 14 of the 20 monsters that are in this deck all can't be destroyed by battle at least once. We have to give our opponents a little bit of fun and throw in some things like
old school, baby.
Wall of Illusion.
Yeah.
So they think that that face down monster can't be destroyed once per turn and it's got a low defense. Well, what do you know? It's Wall of Illusion.
Oh.
And it returns that monster, that attacking monster, to the hand after battle damage. So it's got 1850 defense, so it can actually do some damage depending on what your opponent thinks it actually is. It's got 1000 attack, it's a fiend type, and it's level 4. Similarly, you gotta throw in a little bit of flip monsters just to give them that shock.
God, Worm Apocalypse.
So Worm Apocalypse, it's a reptile type, 1 star, 300 attack, 200 defense, and when it's flipped, it destroys one spell or trap card on the field. You get to select it. Man-Eater Bug is obviously Man-Eater Bug.
Yeah.
So when it's flipped, it destroys a monster. So that's just to get a little bit of removal in there, just to keep your opponent on their toes. Then for fun, Zero Gardna. Basically, you normal summon this. It's got a quick effect, so that means you can use it in chain, and you can use it during your opponent's turn. Basically, it's got 0 attack, 0 defense. It's a warrior type, 4 star, and you can tribute Zero Gardna so that your monsters can't be destroyed by battle during this turn, and you take no battle damage. So he's a fun little guy. And since you can tribute him as a quick effect in the chain, you can pretty much, you don't have to worry about him getting attacked, because if they attack it, you can distribute it. Then we got Swift Scarecrow. You keep him in the hand just in case. Basically, you discard him to negate a direct attack and then end the battle phase. So he's there just in case your defenses are already down. And then for fun, we got Junk Synchron, because most of these monsters are level 2 or lower. Sometimes it's fun to normal summon Junk Synchron and have him pull out a level 2 or lower, and then synchro summon for Junk Warrior. Sometimes he gets like a bonus of like 200. You never know.
Eventually.